Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on your current time zone, and welcome to the DRMC March 2026 Gold Speed Tournament. Our semifinals and finals are happening today. My name is John Dat Flindo. Joining me in the booth is Solar Espeon, and we've got a really hype match here with our 1 seed Influx versus our 5 seed Don Vineyard and Espeon. This is going to be kind of wild.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to all of the matches we have in store today. Definitely familiar faces to anyone who's been around for Championship Sunday before. Some friendly rivalries getting renewed, I hope. In this first semifinal, we have legend of the game Influx, needs no introduction, certainly not from me. 3-time world champion, done almost everything you can do in this community. And he's up against Don Venier, who moved to the semifinal with maybe a mild upset of Floyd yesterday. But he is still the only undefeated player in our gold bracket. So um, a clash of the Titans here and the first of three, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Now these two players have met 6 times already. Influx does lead the series 5-1. Uh, but Don, has just been on a tear, and just like you said, he's undefeated so far this year. Granted, I believe this is only his second tournament, so there's plenty of time for that record to go down. But I know he'd love to keep that going and get back to the finals and maybe get another win off of Influx here.
Yeah, definitely. I had the privilege of calling Don's first round match yesterday as well, and he has really seemed locked in all weekend so far. Um, Neither of these players are going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Influx had a heck of a game against Tomahawk, I think it was, and ultimately
Mhm.
was able to pull ahead there and take the win. But yeah, it was. We've had some really wild matches so far this whole weekend. If you guys have missed any of them, please go and check the previous VODs. Check those out because it's been a banger of a month.
Yeah, definitely. The bracket has had an amount of chaos fitting for how much chaos there was in the qualifying rounds as well. So just very entertaining all around. Looks like we do have our readies in chat. Countdown coming in for game one in just a couple moments.
And we are playing now on levels 10 through 13, and this is now a best of 5 matches, whereas the previous 2 rounds we were best of 3. But here we go. We have our 3, 2, 1, and Pills in the chat. Oh, and I love the starting board for Influx. Doesn't quite go where I expected him to. He has some yellows and blues kind of paired up in his column 1 and 2. I elected to go 3 and 4, which isn't a bad play. It's just not the one I expected.
Yeah, definitely. I liked the starting board for both players here at the top of this level 10. A lot of diversity and a lot of different options on where things could go. Don, I do wonder what one of those yellow blues were thinking. Maybe there was a slight misdrop there. It's not going to matter too much. Um, Both of these players have reduced the board quite a bit from where it first started.
Yeah, absolutely. And both players really kind of needing blue to get down to this end game. Infox actually now getting rid of some of the blue on top and now really waiting for red. I like that tuck on towards the right side of his board to drop some stuff down. He now has access to the bottom of his board a little bit more than Dawn does. Dawn really struggling. He just needs blue and the game's not giving it to him.
Yeah, I do wonder if these are going to be a little bit of clustered end games for both of our players. Influx is already getting through his a little bit there in the sort of fourth and fifth rows of his board. Don has a lot of stuff in his left three columns, um, and Influx has run out of things to do with any color other than red. Looks like he wanted to slide that yellow in, not quite able to do it on high speed. And then for Don on your right, uh, he needs a lot of blue right now, but if he's able to desandwich those yellows in column 8, then this may end up being a pretty efficient endgame for him.
Yeah, Dawn wanted to take a really long red horizontal and drop some yellows down, but it didn't end up happening. But he's got everything he needs now with that red and a triple vertical out at a 157 is Influx, and he's out first, but Don right behind at a 204, still very close here. It's only a 7-second difference as we go into level 11 and only a two virus differential between these two players. And oh, what great start for Dawn. He's knocking a bunch of stuff out all at once. It's basically tied here. Influx has a slight lead, but it's basically tied.
Yeah, definitely still early in this crown, but it is a little too close to call. We saw Don maybe shake his head at the end of that level 10. Not sure if 204 was quite the pace he wanted to be on coming out of that level. These players will be looking for an under 8 minute time as a sort of target for what would have a high probability to win in this level block. Don is getting bottled up at the top of this board a little bit, not getting red to fire off a big yellow combo he has. That's preventing him from getting further down his board, which Influx has done and extended his lead to about 13 viruses as we cross the 3 minute.
Yeah, this is a really nice board for Influx, and he's just played it absolutely magnificently. Again, we see Don just he's holding out for that double yellow, and he's finally gonna get it.
Here it goes.
Um,
Don't break the game.
he should be fine. I was just
Okay.
thinking about that, but he should be fine, and he is fine. But what's not fine is he's now 14 viruses behind Influx, who just needs a double yellow of his own. Kind of surprised that he didn't set up that. Oh, now he gets the double yellow. But if he had put that double blue, that first one in column 2, he could have been out a little bit earlier. But as it stands, he gets out at about a 339 into level 12, our penultimate level for this level block. Really didn't really have any place for those red blues. Unfortunately, I think it was just the tiniest red blue rush for him, but he's gotten out of it. And yeah, it's just not a good place to put him, but he's finding places to make strategic garbage.
Yeah, Influx doesn't have very many uses for yellow right now, trying to be creative to keep everything running tightly over there. Dawn with a massive cascading combo, quite a bit of drop time there in that 4 or 5 chain, but it cleaned up his board nicely. He's out at about 415. Influx, though, has increased the lead to 18 viruses as we get into the meat of level 12.
Yeah, a huge combo from Don, and I know you love to see those kinds of clears, so I'm sure you were super excited about that.
Hey, it's not my favorite type of clear, but it worked for him, and that's what matters right now.
Yeah. But Influx down to 28. Don only 13 or so viruses back as he moves through this level 12. Curious, yeah, he's going to go for that horizontal on the yellows, and that yellow blue just going to be just what the doctor ordered for him. Yeah, blue red, ideally, to take care of the situation over here on the left side of his board. He does get one. One more would be great. There it is. But now just look at the amount of blue that he's got, especially on the right side. It's going to be interesting to see what the doctor's going to provide for him and how he decides to clear all this out, as he is now 12 viruses behind Influx, who again just storming through this level.
Yeah, those blues in 7 and 8 were. I was curious to see how Don was going to get through those. Through those, looks like he's done keep a good job keeping things mostly clean. Maybe you want to take that blue horizontal, but it's going to be a little bit of a build to get that fourth piece in. Influx, meanwhile, had a bit of a clustered endgame in his bottom left corner. He's gotten through it very efficiently. He's out into the final level of this bracket at about 547, looking to take a commanding lead coming into level 13.
Yeah. And once Dawn takes this blue out, he's looking at probably a 9 virus clear if he gets everything, and he's not going to get the yellow on the bottom. Had it set up but was taken out by something earlier. But can now drill this down and get that horizontally. He will just need
Nice.
one more blue. Is it going to show up? There it is. 623 for Dawn. And it is a 17 virus chase down. Definitely not insurmountable. There will need to be a little bit help from the doctor on Influx's side, though, if he wants to really have a shot at this. And Dawn's setting up some really gutsy combos here.
Yeah, but Influx just had a combo that Dawn did not want to see. That was a great way to clear multiple horizontals at a time, get into the lower half of his board quickly. The lead has extended to about 23 viruses, now 21. Influx is really keeping his foot on the gas at the end of this level.
Yeah, and okay, blue red, that'll work. I was trying to figure out what was going to be the best way for Influx to kind of break down this board, and the whatever color it was I just said, he got it and he made it work. I would really love to see maybe a blue red and a double blue, or maybe just a double blue all the way across to get that horizontal. And he definitely is signaling that he wants that. Here's the blue red. He does take it, and it drops down the red to get the horizontal there. Gotta think he's probably setting up to get these horizontals red at the bottom, which he does manage to
Mhm.
get. Now he's just going to need 4 more yellows. Wisely taking the yellow on the right first to reduce his drop time. You see those reds would have dropped three spaces down, and it is going to be a 7:56 for Influx as he takes game 1.
Yep, right under that 8-minute target time I mentioned at the top of the game. Don, generally good play all around, maybe holding out for some of his combo setups just a little bit too long. Influx, meanwhile, prides himself on builds that can use any pieces anytime. He's almost never shoehorned into a single piece. That really shined there as he takes crown number 1.
Yep. And just peeking at their times here. So Influx's average is an 802. That beats so that 756 beats his average. His best is a 707. And Don Vineyard's best only a 747. Shout outs to Southwest. And so yeah, Influx pretty close to Don's fastest. So Don's gotta step it up here if he wants to keep up with Influx.
Yeah, I definitely do think Don has that higher gear within him. Maybe I have some wrong information here, but it's looking to me like his best is 722. So maybe that's some outdated information somehow.
I was
Regardless, we know Don has that fifth gear. He can definitely respond and make this a 1-1 match.
I was looking at the average. That was my bad.
We
So
have our
still
readies
though,
and our countdown. 3, 2, 1. Pills. Crown number 2 in the best of 5 is underway.
yeah, and we see. Oh, really would like Dawn to get one more double yellow, and no, ooh,
Oh,
gotta be
he's
careful. He's in
pushing his
top out
luck with the
territory here,
setup.
and he has moved to high speed. Keep that in mind as we move forward. But
Okay.
just manages to get that over. That was a really gutsy play there by Dawn. Um, I was really kind of concerned for him that he was going to top out, but manages not to.
Yeah, I definitely was too. I was getting anxiety seeing that tower. Dawn, though, cool, calm, and collected. He's all business here. He knows he's down a crown and will do whatever it takes to get it back. Influx has torn through this level 10 though, down to 16 viruses to go, keeping a very good balance of all 3 colors on his board, not looking like he's going to slow down for much of anything. There is a lot of yellow now after a couple of those moves that he just made, but still plenty of ways to work through a very clean end game.
Yeah, we see Influx setting up for this yellow horizontal. I gotta think. Yeah, okay, yeah, he was gonna try to get both of those yellows together, but with the blue came up when the blue where the blue came up, just wasn't gonna end up a thing for him. But still, out at a 128, that's a good time coming out of level 6. So Influx again is just flying through here, and a lot of yellow, a lot of blue on this board. But meanwhile, Dawn just looking to get one more blue after this one, and it didn't really matter which he took the yellow the blue first because he got a couple more yellow blues in a row, and he is out sub 2. And as I say that, Influx makes a huge combo.
Yeah, Influx had a lot of blues in the top middle of that board that, with a different pill set, could have taken quite a while to get through. Fortunate double blue there let him fire off a big T clear, and now most of his board is gone already. Maybe a little bit more red than other colors approaching this end game. It will all depend on the sequence of pills he sees from the doctor. Great L clear there. Leaves a little bit of blue garbage, but he's going to want to take those yellows in column 7 and 8 horizontally. So I'm not sure that will get much in his way. Back on the right side of your screen, looking at Don again, blue and red are the order of the day here at the top of his board. So the question is, when he gets yellow, how will he use it effectively?
Yeah, speaking of yellow, as soon as you mentioned Influx needing to get the yellows horizontally, he gets a double yellow and was able to do it. So you might want Influx to be sending you a check somewhere. I'm not sure, but yeah, really, really fortunate RNG there for Influx. And oh, what a setup! I was afraid that blue was going to be dropped off, blocked off, but I didn't see the horizontal at the bottom. He's out at a 311, 312 into level 12, and we see Dawn just a double red would be the most ideal pill for him. I don't blame him for taking that garbage there with the blue, especially now that it's cleared out. It did drop up that combo for him. The trouble is that didn't really give him access to anything because the right side was already kind of filled empty. And so he's really got to focus on this left side, which is what he's doing now. But I'm just not sure how he's going to get through this without getting some reds.
Yeah, I am still a little concerned. As I said at the end of the last crown, it's still holding true just a little bit. I am maybe a little concerned that Dawn is holding on to some of these combos a little bit too long. The end result there was that this last blue virus wasn't really buried, but only had a couple of good ways to get to it. He's out of level 11 at a 418. Influx is into level 12 and only has 17 viruses remaining already. I noticed him jamming out just a minute ago. So either he's in a really good rhythm or he has some tunes going. One of the two. Either way, he's definitely here to play. He's locked in right now,
Oh,
and
look
it's
at this
over
combo
a
from
30
Dawn.
virus lead. Huge combo there. Opens up the top few lines of Dawn's board. Um, he's not going down without a fight. It's like we said in the open, but Influx still has what I would consider a commanding lead right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a 22 virus lead right now for Influx. But Dawn making a really nice drop cross, and he's now got the opportunity if he gets a yellow blue, and there it is. So I'll be expecting a check from Dawn soon. Gets that drop into a horizontal, and he's brought this down now to only an 18 virus differential as Influx goes into level 13. And I gotta say, I really really like this board for Influx. But he's got to get through this mess of blue first.
Yeah, very good board for Influx. I agree. Lots of double opportunity, lots of combo opportunity. Could be a very efficient board if he gets the right pills. Dawn, you mentioned, had cut the lead to about 18 viruses when Influx got out of level 12, but Dawn is smothered in yellow right now, and I'm not sure how long that 18 virus lead will stand unless he gets a lot of yellow and quickly.
Yeah, and a red would be nice too, just to be able to drop that down and get that horizontal. There it is. But yeah, now really just only needing yellow is Don Vinier. Curious to see how he decides to attack this blue piece. And I think what he's doing is he's setting himself up to maybe get the horizontal if it opens up for him. He does have it. Just got to clear out this yellow, and there's the horizontal. 627 out for Dawn, but with Influx only 17 now 15 viruses left remaining in this level 13. It's gonna take a huge drought for Dawn to be able to get back in, and he's just topping out. I think he's just throwing in the towel now.
Yeah, unsure if that was. Well, he has stopped his timer, so it looks like he might be resigning on this one. Not sure if that was his choice from the beginning or maybe a setup went wrong. Um, Either way, good effort. Influx looks like he has seen that and is going to. Nope, he's just waiting for his red. That was his way to wait for red. Going to be an excellent time here posted from him. Last red piece, there it is. 712, an excellent time for this level block. And he is up to match point.
Yes, so Dawn would need a reverse sweep here. Um, And I believe that the ruling is that if a player refuses to finish, that they like for the opposing player to go ahead and finish out.
Hmm. Yeah, that is what it looked like happened there. Um, Influx, as a result of that, going to a 2-0 lead. He is ready for game number 3. Looks like Dawn is as well, and it's match point in this first semifinal of the day.
Yep, here we go. Mhm. Cool. All right, and I actually have a little bit of an update from the Dave here. The rule that I was just talking about, if one player refuses to finish, so that has been updated now to where the other player just has to progress past where their opponent quit, and that will take the crown for them. So really, as soon as Dawn topped out, then Influx already had the crown, but he went ahead and finished it out, and you'll love to see that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. He put up an excellent time there anyway. Probably on the hot times board somewhere. That's not a page I have in front of me. And looks like we are about to have our countdown for game number 3. Here it is: 3, 2, 1, and pills. Influx trying to end it. Don Venier trying to extend it here in this best of 5 semifinal.
Yeah, and interesting boards to start off here. I don't love the beginning of an Influx's board. A lot of yellow, a lot of blue that he's having to work through. Fortunately, a little bit of a blue yellow rush there. And now coming out of that, interesting decision here, but I see what he's doing. Uh, he's shaking his head. I don't think that's what he wanted to do, but he was kind of forced into that by the garbage slash the RNG, and but he's 3 viruses behind Don right now, who's really had the better board.
Yeah, Don had a great board to start. Immediately had to set up for a big blue cross that I was afraid might impact his board health going further down, but he's gotten a great pill sequence to complement it. Um, Maybe a little bit of blue and red in this end game, but he has worked himself into a little bit of a lead, playing very efficiently, taking doubles and horizontals wherever he can. Hopefully, this blue yellow rush turns into a bit more red blue, and he can keep that pace up through the rest of level 10.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Influx may have gotten a tiny bit tilted by the RNG, and then he had a little bit of a misdrop, but he makes a pretty huge combo there to clear out some stuff on the left side of his board. A double yellow would be really great, and there it is.
There it
See if he
is.
gets the tuck. There it is.
Even more checks in the mail.
Yeah, we're gonna be rich after this. I tell you what. Don with a nice drop offset fat log. He's just down to needing 6 reds. Uh, Probably not going to be able to take them together, just because of the way the reds are positioned. But it's been a great level for here for Don. Probably not the pace that he wants, but he is going to be out first 207 and peaking at Influx's board. Gosh, I'm just not sure how he's going to get down to these blues efficiently.
Yeah, I was impressed by a lot of plays from both of those players throughout that level 10, and was a little surprised to look over at the time and see that it was an over 2 minute level for both of them. Influx, as you said, unfortunately has buried these blues a little bit. Now he's going to be able to take them horizontal. He's through at a 230, so Dawn has opened up a quick 8 virus lead, maybe even a little bit more than that with some of the setups that we see being made here. Um, Dawn, not quite as much blue access as I'd like, especially after clearing those in column 1. Stacked a little bit high, but I think he'll be able to work around that. And there that goes. Now his board is very right focused.
Yeah, very right heavy side here for Don Vinier, our number 5 seed, and doing a great job with it. Would really like to get some more yellows though, and yellows and reds, and well, not so much red now, but blue. here on this mid game for Dawn. He's really got to get some blue to help knock this down. Curious to see how long he's going to let these yellows in column 3 just kind of hang out. And there's the answer. He brings them down.
Yeah, there's a big drop. A lot of yellow and blue continuing down this board for Dawn. Looks like he's having a decently good luck as far as getting pills that help him work through that. Going back to Influx on the left side of your screen, I did not love this level from the beginning, and I'm still not loving it now. Not very many double opportunities, lots of awkward holes on this board. I do think Influx has done a good job avoiding drop time wherever he can as he tries to work through this. Unfortunately, a red-blue rush there that he just can't do anything with. Dawn is continuing to extend this lead. He's out of level 11 at a 402, as Influx still has 18 viruses to go, and the majority of them are yellow or blue.
Yeah, but speaking of blue, that's really what Don's got to get and has been getting so far at the beginning of his level 12. Setting up for a monster, not really a monster combo, but it was a pretty efficient combo. He was just waiting for that final piece to fire it off and did get the piece that he needed. So he's started just cruising now here in level 12 and really looking to say, "Hey, Influx, you're not sweeping me today," and he's well on his way to be to taking a crown here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Influx out of level 11 at about 450. This is a much nicer looking board for him than his level 11 was. Lots of doubles here, a great combo there. I see potentially a T setup that he gets immediately with blues over on the left side. We see big blocks of yellow and blue viruses all the way down the board. If any level would give Influx a chance to come back from a deficit like this, you're definitely seeing it right here. Looking at once again at Dawn on the right, he has 13 viruses to go, and most of them are red. So we're really hoping to see a lot of red pills, maybe specifically blue red, to keep the pressure on in this level 12 end game.
Yeah, this end game has not been great for Don, and really he had just as many blues as he had reds. But the problem was that all the reds are kind of bunched up together, and the one yellow that he has is underneath red. So he's really trying to just get down into the nitty gritty of this end game, and that combo's really gonna help him out. I think gotta take that blue first. Um, the red drops down, but it doesn't take away the horizontal opportunity. And there it is, 608 for Don. He doesn't look very happy about it, but he's got a lead here over Influx. And anytime you got a lead over Influx, you got to be happy about that.
Yeah, only a couple punishment pills for there at the end for Dawn looking for that last red, but Influx has continued to have just an amazing level 12 here, getting everything he needs in addition to having what was just a great board setup. He's down to 3 viruses to go, now make it 2, and now make it 1. 2 more blue halves will get him out of this level. He is out at a 643, and the lead is only about 14 viruses down from 18 earlier. So there has been some ground made up. This crown is certainly not over as we go into the final level.
Yeah, but we see Dawn make a huge combo there to bring this lead up to 17. And I was watching him set that up, and I knew that it was going to be massive once he got the proper pill, and he gets it, and he's just flying through this now. The board is looking uh, not not amazing. He's got all these reds here at the top. Fortunately for him, they are set up horizontally and nicely doubled up as well. So once he gets a red, he'll be able to clear something out. There's one. And here comes some blue help. And Dawn's setting up to take those reds in column 1 and 2 horizontally and drop those yellows down. We'll see. Okay, he's not going to go for the huge hero combo and try to full clear this out. And I think that's the right decision.
Yeah, I agree. He was looking like he was not particularly close to the exact pill he needed to fire off and get everything. But you don't need to get everything. You just need to clear faster than your opponent, which he's about to do with one more red pill half. Here it is. Drop combo 809 Dawn has successfully extended this match, there will be a game 4.
Indeed, indeed. GG's to Dawn, GG's to Influx so far. I mean, if you're gonna drop a crown, drop the crown when you're up 2 games to none. Just don't drop another one if you don't want to put yourself in a reverse sweep situation. So I think Influx is going to bounce back from this, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Influx has shown in the past that he has this sort of poke the bear mode that maybe people like Adelito or Paki are known for a little bit better. But he certainly has a short memory. He won't let this crown affect him. And it's all business. It's all staying calm, continuing to play your game as we get into crown number 4
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely. And Fox also has a tiny little stuffed bear that he carries around sometimes. I've seen it. It's super cute, super cute. As we have our 3, 2, 1 pills in the chat. And here we go with game 4. I kind of like both boards, to be honest. They have spots for just about everything. I love that horizontal for Dawn, followed by another horizontal for Dawn. Influx is looking a bit more vertical at this point in the game, but he does have some horizontal opportunities down later. If he could just get a red blue, then he's gonna make some things happen right here. And there it is.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fireworks going off on both sides to start this level 10. I didn't love Dawn's board at first. It could have been quite a painful way to get off the blocks in this crown if he had not gotten as much red as he did. So now that I say that, there's a lot of blue left on his board, and the RNG is going to need to shift a little bit if he wants to keep up as good of a pace as that was. Influx down to 11 viruses has gotten through this level 10 somehow even faster. Um, Choosing not to take the blue horizontal there, that would have left him, I think, a little bit of garbage. Um, Great horizontal there on the reds. He's going through this level with amazing speed, 3 yellow halves away from reaching level 11 first in this game 4.
Yeah. And now getting a little bit droughted, actually. There's the final yellow, a 129 for Influx. Dawn, I mean, what else can you say? He's just been waiting on the blues to continue showing up here and gets that yellow. One more blue will do it for Dawn. Where is it? There it is, a 145 for him. The 16-second difference as we go into our second level here. Gosh, that is a lot of red and yellow for Influx.
Yeah, definitely. And then it is worth remembering that what 145 is a very good time for level
Yeah.
10 on its own. The fact that Influx has such a lead is just a testament to his own skill and how good level 10 was on his side. As he's working down through this board, as you said, it is still a lot of red and yellow that he needs to get through. That's going to be a big combo that opens up some of the left side of his board. A little bit of blue access now available. We'll see how long he's able to keep that open. And looking at Dawn again, there's a blue horizontal in rows 1 through 4 that could really help him here. I do like his diversity, even if there aren't as many double opportunities as he would probably want.
Yeah, and he's finding plays where he can find them, and he's doing it effectively. So that's the good thing for Dawn here with this board is he's able to use that creativity that he has and make clears when there it doesn't look like there's many clears to be made. And it's only a 10 virus difference here. Now down to 9 as he takes out a couple reds. But Influx, this end game for him truly just really amazing as as we get a little psychedelic moves from his capture maybe his capture cards getting a little wonky here. It's disco fever here on the DRMC and the in the influx stream.
Yeah, even with the colors throwing us a little bit of a party. I mean, the whole second half of that level 11 for Influx was so clean you could eat off of it, truthfully. And his level 12 here looks absolutely amazing with a lot of double stair steps all the way down. This could be a very efficient level for him to really work toward putting this away. Um, Dawn has just 1 virus to go, looking for 3 red halves. gets two of them at once with the double. He's out at a 354 again in a vacuum, an amazing time. But Influx is not going to let that be good enough here in game 4 of the semifinal.
Oh, I love that undertuck from Dawn to get the yellow blues and drop the red piece down onto column 8. And Dawn is putting together some really nice things here, doing his best to stay in this. It's a 15 virus difference at the moment. The Influx just continuing to put the pedal to the metal here and get through this board. This double blue going to be really great for him. Does the play I expected him to. Opens up those two yellows in his column 8. Yeah, and I like the decision here. And this double blue, absolutely astounding
Ooh.
for Influx. Now going to be building up to get these double reds. Actually, he doesn't
And
have
a
to because
double
there
red
it
to
is.
drop it all at once. Wow.
Yeah, Influx.
Excellent planning, excellent RNG there from Influx. He's I feel like I'm repeating myself a ton. He's flying through level 12. 507, he's out, and he's one level away from moving to our grand final.
Yeah, I thought that was the last level. We had one more level to go for Influx, and I really don't love this board for him. Lots of yellow, lots of blue. Speaking of lots of yellow, that's exactly what Dawn's trying to work through. It looks like he's trying to set up for a red yellow fat log, and he does have the setup, and I think he is going to be holding out for this. There it is,
There it is.
fat log. You love to see it. Just going to need 3 more yellows, and he will join Influx into level 13. Where is it? There it is, out of the 553.
Yeah, great ending there. Fortunate that you did not have to wait long to get that last red yellow to fire off the fat log, but it is a 22 virus lead here in level 13 as we cross the 6-minute mark. Disco Party continuing over on Influx's side of the screen. Influx is level 13, not nearly as pretty as his level 12 was. Very few doubles, a lot of just it's a mixed bag of viruses the whole way down and fairly clustered over on the right. Um, Looking at Don's screen again, looks like he wants to take those yellows in columns 1 and 2 horizontally. Very curious to see what he thinks the best way to build back up to that would be. Looks like he's going to make himself a table out of that very well timed double red rush. And he's cut the lead back down to 10 viruses. Continues to be a close game. And Influx is going to have a little bit of a clustered end game now that he's entirely within the bottom 5 rows of his board.
Yeah, Influx really had some issues in his mid game, and I think if he hadn't gotten that cleaned up when he did, it was going to give Dawn a chance to maybe come back and get this. But it's looking actually really, really nice for Influx now. A double blue or maybe a any blue and a blue red would be great for him. He's not setting up for the well. Now he is. I see what he's doing. He wanted the reds to drop down horizontally first. One more yellow is gonna do it for Influx. There we go. 729. The disco's over, and he is hyped.
What a pop off there! I think he's very relieved that his capture card or splitter or whatever's going on there survived just long enough to get him through this match. Excellent playing in levels 12 and 13 to work through that, and not let it affect him. Clearly some technical difficulties he's trying to work through with it now. Love seeing the relief on his face. Dawn looks like maybe he is going to try to finish this out, needing a lot of blues in the ending here. And just to restate, excellent play and excellent times from Dawn. It's just he ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw and it wasn't quite good enough today. It will be Influx moving on to our grand final in a 3-1 win, a gentleman's sweep, as they would sometimes say in volleyball. We'll be right back after the break with Adelito and Packy in the second semifinal to see who Influx will play against. Stay tuned. This is the DRMC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the March 2026 Gold Speed Bracket. We're about to start our second semifinal match, which will feature Adelito versus Paki, perhaps the two of the greatest people in the history of Dr. Mario. And for that, do I have a great commentator to help me with this match? You better believe it. Betty, what can you tell us about these two competitors?
Well, one of them looks like larva, but the other is Adelina. No, no stranger when it comes to these later levels here. Neither of them are. So there we go. Packy is in the building now, getting ready for his matchup. We did see some wonderful DRMC a pillow back there, and we do have a merch store, so I'll just do that quick plug there. Exclamation point merch in chat, and you too can own some wonderful DRMC merch and support the wonderful community that we have going on here. Um, so uh, these two competitors have also met quite a few times before, and 5 times in the semifinals. Adelito is leading that meetup 4-1, but um, we'll see if Packy has something to say about that record right now.
Yeah, and these two happen to be our leaders in the amount of rounds won in the DRMC history. The commentary notes is just slightly out there, but Adelito has won 111 rounds in the history of Dr. Mario, where Packy has won 110. So these two are essentially number 1 and number 2, despite the fact that bottom screen it says number 2 and number 3.
I can't get over Packy's hat that has a pickle on it because well-known fact here, Packy's nickname here in the community is now Pickle, coined by my daughter. So one of her favorite players, actually her favorite player is Packy. So we'll see if she'll be cheering him on here. But yeah, they are already 3, 2, 1 and go. And I'm seeing a lot of red on Adelito's board and no blue to speak of.
Yeah, and Pack has a lot of yellow. Thankfully, he's getting a fair amount of yellow to clear this out before it starts becoming an issue. But both these boards early on had the hint of being fairly color dependent, and these players are very well acquainted by now of how the doctor loves to bundle colors together and know how to handle it based on the pills they get. But right now, it's about an 8 virus lead for Packy, who's just trying to figure out how to handle the right side of his board and all that red over there. And it's getting to the point where it's an almost all red top line for Pack, which is never something that you want to see.
Yeah, but he's doing it really well. The concern I had with Packy's board was just the floatiness of it all and the amount of drop time he was needing to take in order to get this um, brought down. But he did that very, very well. He is still in the driver's seat here, leading by about 3 viruses. But Adelito again has these like double setups that he's setting up for, and so he's not going to be far behind when if Packy gets any of these reds that he's looking for.
Yeah, he just has one yellow, but he is just not getting any reds at all to do anything here. And this is giving Adelito the chance to essentially get back into this match. And Pack is unfortunately going to have to take some drop time here, just letting some of these things go down because he had no room for anything really. Oop, and
Oh,
because the way those fell, he's
yeah.
going to have to take those reds out individually. If he ever gets some red dock, come
Wow.
on.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's playing so high up. I mean, I know these players can handle it, but that is just super stressful. One wrong down press and it would have been over. But Packy handled it out at a 207, a little bit behind now because of that RNG, but he can get right back into this.
Yeah, that should have practically been like a 127 or something. That was the how close was just that RNG at the end really has put him behind by about 12 viruses. But as anyone who knows, who has ever had to play Packy or in some cases just watched him, he has the ability to make some absolutely amazing comebacks. The problem I see with his board here is that is a lot of blue directly underneath a lot of red. He is again having to be pretty color dependent here early on, and that's just giving Adelito a chance to keep his board nice and even. But as I say that though, Packy has somehow managed to tie this back up, Betty.
Yeah, he wasn't letting that color dependency of help have him, not place things to where he can clear them very easily. So he's been doing a great job with that. On Adelito's side, he gets these reds that he absolutely needs. Look at this drop clear that he had set up from the beginning, was able to take it. It was something that I've been noticing on Adelito's board, and he does this very, very well. I've noticed it before. Oh gosh, thought we lost Packy for a second there. But something that Adelito does very well is having multiple ways to tear down a virus, and you can see he's not dependent on that pill. He has multiple setups to take this stuff down, and now just 4 viruses left on his board.
I am disappointing you, Betty. You have missed 2 sweet teas that Packy has done.
Oh no!
Meanwhile, we just need one more blue on Packy's side, one more red. We are tied essentially 354 to 355 right now. Packy managed to make up everything from that level 10, and it has actually a 1 virus lead right now as he's tearing through this. Again, though, there is a lot of red near the top of the board for Pack, though he's doing a pretty good job of taking most of it out. Meanwhile, Adelito's got definitely a much more balanced board all the way down, though a lot more, especially at the bottom of the board, you see a lot more pairs both horizontally and vertically for Packy. I'd say Packy has the slightly better board here. What do you think, Betty?
I would say that too, because Adelito did have a lot of yellow that was just kind of cluttering up his top line. But both of these players, making it work. I think Adelito was trying to think of how he could remove that red from column 7, and you see him building up this platform. It did end up breaking on him a little bit, so this is kind of putting him behind just a little bit, just because of the puzzling of it all. When you have to think through how you're going to clear something effectively, that doesn't always equate to going fast. So
Pack had a yellow rush in a moment where he really had no place to place any yellows, so that slowed him down just a little bit. But he's still got an 8 virus lead, and some we have not seen in a lot of games this weekend. With 7 viruses left, still an equal amount of all viruses. So Pack's done a very good job of balancing out this entire board all the way through, down to 5 viruses. Meanwhile, over on Adelito's side, beautiful way to take out those reds horizontally to drop into the blues, but he has a lot of yellows that he's going to have to work through at the end here. But Pack just needs, speaking of, 1 more yellow. He is out of level 12 at, oh no, what happened there?
he flipped the wrong way. Now he's having to go vertical. That is going to take a little bit more time. He is still in the lead, but that lead was cut a little bit by that misplay there. But Packy does not let those affect him too much, so he is into his level 13, his last level here. Adelito still yet to join him, just needing 2 more reds in this level 12. And right there, he's joining at a 614, but is behind by about 3 viruses and some setup on Packy's end.
I was so confused. I watched the pill disappear and going like, wait, didn't it disappear? What happened
No.
there?
You were having a dream, Sarge. We all dream about viruses going away, don't we?
Oh, I so wish they would. A lot of color dependency on Leo's idea. A lot of yellow at the top. Now he's got no yellow. He's got all red and blue at the top. He's getting so many yellow pieces right now, and he has his blue blocked. So it's been a bit of a challenge here, allowing Pack to take a pretty decent 12 virus lead. But now Pack's reading the part of his board where it's mostly red. And oh, Adelito. Oh, this is not scary at all. Nope. Oh, wow. Look at that move.
The maneuvering that these individuals do, like, I would have been stressing if I was like 2 lines away, and he was at the top of his board, Adelito maneuvering this around. But that little maneuver that he had to kind of scramble, he did have a misplay a mistuck that he was trying to do, and so that is just something that happens when you are trying to not top out. top out strats don't work when you are that far. Wow. But he's continuing to clear things amazing. But Packy is now in the lead by over 17 so viruses.
Yep, Pack just needs 3 more reds. In fact, here's 2 of them right here. Here is the third. He will be out first at a 754.
GG's.
Yeah, we've seen a couple people today. Or those who are watching the VOD, you can go check out the match that we just watched a few minutes ago. Inflock versus Don Venier. He had a long period of time, but at the top of the match, he seemed completely calm. All of us were like, "Oh my God, he's gonna top out! He's gonna top out!" But he was just like, "Ah, this is fine." And Adley was pretty much the same way. Nothing seems to shake him at all. It's just absolutely amazingly composure that some of these players have. I think that's the reason why we're in a commentator's booth and they're playing
Yeah.
right now. What do you think, Betty?
For sure, being able to maneuver as well as he did. It wasn't just 1 pill. It wasn't just 2 pills. It was 5 pills that he was able to get over. The timing to which you have to have that down in order to just not top out or not press down until it's cleared. Wonderful for Adelito. He won something, maybe not the crown that game, but he definitely won in my mind right there by just doing that. So, but we have our 3, 2, 1 pills, and our players are off for this second crown.
Absolutely no access to red for Adelito. And of course, 4 of the first 6 pills, make it 5 of the first 7 pills, had red in it. So he's just having to maneuver everything around here, and it's been a bit of a struggle very early on here for Adelito. He's not really able to do anything, and that's allowed Pack to get a bit of a lead. But now Pack has pretty much no red atop
at
his
this.
board, though he's fixing that, making it so he's got everything coming down quite a bit. Finally, Adelito's managed to open up a little bit more dependency, but just like that, he's just about out of reds again, Betty, and that's going to be a problem for most of the rest of this level for him.
But what he's doing is really smart. He is playing horizontally to try and clear some yellows in order to gain access to those reds once those yellows do clear. So one of the things that you have to kind of watch out for is you might have a color dependency that you have access to, but those horizontals give you further access once clears happen. So, and Adelito is just doing wonderful work trying to make those work for him. There is going to be a little bit of an issue in that column 2 where that yellow is currently in between those reds. So we'll see how he actually tears that down.
And Packy just needs to build upwards here underneath. He's got 1 yellow. Here's a second yellow. He will be out first at 132. You see an amazing fat log by Adelito right at the same time that you might have missed if you're too busy paying attention to Pack's board there. Is right now Adelito just really needs a couple yellows, and he will be getting through this super fast here. And it's giving Pack an opportunity to really do a large number on this board early on, Betty.
Yeah, and Adelito had a wonderful setup with the yellow before, and then that Fat Loud did ruin it. It took it down another line than he was expecting, and so that is getting him behind here, but it's only 11 viruses between these two. We still have 3 levels left to go, or 2 levels, sorry, after this one. And so yeah, we'll see Adelito put together some amazing moves, so I think.
Yeah, Adelito had an end of a level pretty similar to how Packy did in the previous game. He was just waiting a very long time for that last pill, and now Pack's dealing with a lot of red that he's just not getting any red pills for, and he's just had to maneuver around a lot of that. And when he finally does get some red, he's going to have lots of opportunities and where to put it. Meanwhile, over on Adelito's side, he's got 6 yellow viruses left on his board, and all of them are now, one of them is available, but most of them are pretty decently buried that he's just going to have to use yellow as another commentator puts it, creative garbage in order to keep this match going here. Both of them are really just not needing yellows at all, and they're both getting a whole ton of yellows, which how exactly does this affect your mind set when you're getting all these pills that you don't need, Betty?
Well, I think it doesn't so much affect like what you're trying to do, just how you do it. Oh, a mistuck by Adelito right there. But yeah, like when you're trying to your best to not get in your own way when that happens. And like right now, Adelito's trying to have this blue cleared horizontally. And he does get it, but it did take a little bit more effort than he originally had. But he is getting the pills now. This wonderful clear with those yellows sets up this horizontal. Now just needing reds on both sides. Packy out first at a 3:54, and Adelito only 3 seconds later.
Just like we saw in the first match where it was a long orangey way at the end, 10 would manage to be tied at 11. We are seeing that in this match, only now the roles are reversed, that it's Packy who has Adelito breathing down their neck and just trying to keep things going. But again, severe color dependency on Adelito's part. He's got no access to blue at all. And what is he building up to here, Betty?
I think he's trying to get these blues to clear. This is exactly what he needed to do that, but gosh, that was like selling out for that one, and still leaving a lot of trash on the board. So that one not necessarily as clean as we normally see Adelito setups. And so, but he has this set up in the column 7, 8 with those yellows, just needing one more yellow to take it down. But that is letting Pack just extend his lead right now.
Yeah, it's a 16 virus lead, and Pac's got access to mostly blue right now, mainly 'cause that's the big one he has left on the board. He has some yellow in the corner, but he'll have to really get that cross would help him get access to the yellow super fast. It's probably going to take all those yellows in the bottom row out horizontally. No, yep, just like that. Absolutely beautiful. Just has 5 viruses left and has access to all of them. Just needs 4 red and 3 blue. Meanwhile, over on Adelio's side, he needs a lot more of all the above. And doing what he can to get down to the bottom of his board, but Packy will be out at 12 first at a 5:46, Betty.
Yeah, fantastic work for Packy, just continuing to put the pedal to the metal here. Oh, this is a pill that Adelito definitely wanted with that cross clear that he just had, and now almost free and clear, just needing 2 more yellows to break this down as a drop clear. And he gets it out at a 6:09. But again, Packy extending that lead, continuing to do the work that he needs to win the second crown.
Yeah, Packy, as we mentioned, Adelito has the lead in this 8-2. But Packy won the very first time they met back in April 22 and also beat him back in September 2024. So Pac knows what it takes in order to beat a competitor like Adelito and to stay composed throughout all 5 matches. As I wouldn't say great boards by either one of them, but they're doing a good job with what they have. Adelito definitely needs much more access to red. And Pack just really like to have more access to yellow, but with what they're getting, beautiful drop combos, beautiful everything here. I don't even know what words to use with what we're seeing here, Betty.
Beautiful does work. We say it quite often here, and it's just because we're in awe of these players and how masterful that they do what they do here. So, we see half of the plays. I'm sure that they're coming up with. I really like what Adelito has been doing though, taking a lot of. Oh, I think that might have been. Oh no, it wasn't. See, again, do not call any plays that Adelito does a mistake, because he has a method for his madness. He is a champion for a reason. But this is now neck and neck within 5 pills here, and Adelito looking to set up maybe a T here with. Yes, he is setting up a T just exactly as I hoped. Look at this. Wow. Wow. That was insane. And now Packy just needing this blue and then followed by this yellow. He will be taking this crown. But Adelito made a Goliath strike of trying to get get this crown. Wow. Look at that ending.
Just a 10-second difference between them. 8:03 for Pac versus 8:13 for Adelito, and Adelito is now on the verge of getting swept, which here is an interesting factoid here. Both times that Packy has defeated Adelito, they've been sweeps. So if Adelito gets a crown in the third match, you're going to be very concerned about Packy's ability based on the history, how this goes. But right now, I would say that Packy is very heavily in the driver's seat at this particular moment.
For sure. And if you're at Alito and knowing that your opponent is leading 2 crowns and that opponent is Packy, I would be sweating a little bit. I mean, you and if you're Packy and you're ahead, that adrenaline is running. You have the 2 crowns. You're going up against a tough opponent as Adelito, so you can't let your foot off the gas. So you just kind of have to lean into that adrenaline even more. So I think both of these players have an interesting, take on how they're going to attack this next crown.
Yeah, there's not many people who can say that they have gotten a round win against Adelito. Lifetime, he is 111-16. So, this is definitely a very difficult to beat opponent, and Pac is doing a great job here as we get ready for our third match. We have our 3, 2, 1, and pills. And looking at these boards early on, I really do not like the lack of red access Pac has early on, but he's doing amazing stuff, so including a beautiful cross to get things going. Meanwhile, Adelito has a much more even board, probably could use a little bit more access to yellow himself, but doing a really good job. Just has a little bit more of a higher board Betty that he's having to work around.
Yeah, which will constitute to more drop time, as you see here with that clear that he had. One thing I just wanted to mention, Packy did this just a little while ago. He left a platform so he could take something with minimal drop time, and that just equates to going a lot faster, clearing your board very efficiently, and that is something Packy is doing very well. And gosh, I he's halfway down his board, and Adelito still has this very lofty board that will maybe have some more drop time for him.
Yeah, 'cause it's about a quarter of a second per space that pills drop down, Betty. Am I remembering that correctly?
That is correct, and now another yellow setup that Adelito had that he had to take down. So that's just going to mean more pills that he needs to see in order to clear this board. Those yellows, exactly what he wants to see, though. Just needing a few more of those. This red that he has, very, very helpful. He could have taken that a different way to limit the drop time, decided not to. It doesn't matter. He is out first at a 140. Packy's still having 8 viruses left on his board.
Yeah, he's just had a lot of pills at the bottom of his board that's been slowing him down. But right now he's just gonna have to. Oh, I see what he's
Look at
going for.
this.
That's a beautiful way to take
Yeah.
all those. There's a cross into a drop. Just needs one more yellow. There it is. Needs one more blue. There it is. He will be out at a 204. About 15 seconds or so behind Adelito, and about 11 pills as Adelito's just torn to the top of this board. But
Do you see
Pac's got
this?
a
Look
much
at this. Sorry,
That's
I
just
just
absolutely amazing by Adelito. Thank you for pointing that
yes.
out to me. I almost did miss it.
That was in the works for the past, like, 7 or so pills, and I could see behind the scenes of what Adelito sees when he plays this game, and it was a beautiful thing. But Packy charging back here, making it a 10 virus game right now.
Yeah, I've given up a long time ago on trying to predict what either one of these competitors are going to do. I wait until it's something completely obvious, or else I'm just like, they're doing things, and the things will remove viruses, and that'll just have to do for the commentary.
Yeah, good commentary if you ask me, right? Yes, now Packy bringing this back to just a 1 virus game. We blink and miss it, but definitely, doing what he needs to bring this back. And now they're completely tied. This is fantastic. We're going to be going into that level 12 virtually tied.
Just
Hopefully.
waiting for this ready to get dropped on. Beautiful planning by Pack there to get access now to everything. But Adelita will again be out first at a 335. But Pack's going to be not too far behind. He just needs 3 blue pieces, and he's going to get them right here. Here's one, there's a second, and after this will be the third, right there, out at a 349. So not that far behind. It's 8 virus difference, but again, Adelito's got virtually no access to yellow, and he's not going to for a while because all
Oh,
this
but
blue that's on
look at
top.
what he's doing, though. He is using that horizontal to get access to those yellows underneath once he clears it right here. Look at that. Just that's the skill that you need, that foresight of maybe setting up a horizontal where you don't necessarily need to, but it gives you access to that color diversity that you need to continue moving forward on your board.
Yeah, I'll admit, as I try and do these things, I'm lucky if I can figure out how to take out the pills, the row underneath what I am working on. But you watch Packing Adelito, and they're doing combos where anything on the top 4 rows of their playboard is fair game. And the mind that you have to have for that is absolutely amazing. As you
Mhm.
watch Packy here, it's setting up for a pair of horizontals. So you're going to take the blues out horizontally first and then the yellows right afterwards. Beautiful dropping the garbage down into that position. As right now, Packy has the lead. He has managed to retake it. And that blue-yellow pairing, perfect to allow him to take everything out in the bottom row. He has pretty much everything clear. He's just got to figure out how he's going to handle that red, yellow, red in column 8. And then he'll be pretty much free and clear here, Betty.
Sorry, my cat just knocked over something. I apologize for that. But yeah, Adelito now just putting in the work, needing a few more blues. Let's see if he gets that. But definitely has a clean board. Like there was no trash to speak of as I was starting to talk. But now Packy just needing a little bit more red. It did clear one of the blues that he had there. So he will have to replace that with that pill right there. Now just needing one more blue after that clear. We'll see when he gets that and he can join Adelito. It is at a 558.
It's only a 5 virus difference right now, and it's really hard to say whose boy I like more as Adelito trying to make us panic again with all this play at the top of the board. Please not do as Adelito. I have heart issues. I would rather not have me going to the hospital because of your play style.
Yes, please don't send Sarge to the ICU. Um, so, but he brought it back down. He is now safe and clear, and both of them going pill for pill here because Packy's still swinging back. He had the lead for a little bit, then Adelito took it right back. Oh, this massive clear by Adelito is now jumping him back into the lead by a few viruses at that.
Yeah, right now, Pac's real issue is that he has a lot of blue that he had to work through for a bit. He's managed to get most of them gone, but that did slow him down just a little bit. But it's only a 4 virus difference right now, and just need to get a little bit more in the way of blue to help Pac get right down to the bottom of this board and really start moving on things here. And that is just giving Adelito a chance to keep moving, but he has a lot of yellow at the bottom of his board. Adelito does, and he is having to fight through.
Yeah, and he has a lot of setups that, are really slowing him down in terms of, what he's thinking through. And I don't think I normally see that him struggle with those sort of setups to maintain those. But it it doesn't matter. He's getting the yellows he needs. He's getting yellow red, which he definitely needs, and this double red, getting this crown for him at a 747.
Yes, that excellent finish by Adleo here to take this one, and now Pac's got to deal with a situation that he's not had to deal with before, and that is trying to get a win against Adelito after Adelito has gotten a crown. It's still very doable, but we have seen this before with a lot of competitors where you have that mindset that you know what you need to do in order to win. And Pack had the momentum, and yeah, it's just one crown. But we have watched Adelito for 4 years now. That as soon as he gets that first crown, that starts becoming an avalanche going down the hill. He just smothers his opponent, and Pac's going to have to work really hard to make certain to stop that before it gets any real traction.
Yeah, we see another supportive, embrace from Larva to hopefully give Packy the energy he needs to finish this match off. And Adelito will just, need to keep his head in the game in order to get this next crown. And so we are off at 3-2-1, and look at these plays by them. Again, Adelito making a wonderful stack that he's trying to clear and just maneuvering the pills to make some great plays.
Speaking of maneuvering the pills, this is twice in about a minute and a half. I have seen Packy do his best Flindo impersonation. We have seen some very impressive swims by him so far in this match, and smart move to put the double blue there. A lot of people would have tried taking out one of the vertical pairings over on column 8 there, but by taking double blue where he did, he opened up access to red, and you really want to make certain that you keep yourself access to all the colors as much as possible. Sometimes the most obvious play is not the best one, and Pack is very good at realizing when he has to do those micro adjustments just to make certain that he keeps his board in a good health. Meanwhile, over on Adelito's
Oh
side,
my goodness.
he is waiting for this blue and finally gets in. Down comes everything, and just like that, he has gone from being a few viruses back to a few viruses in the lead, while Packy
Hmm.
tries to get some yellow here to really get back into this, Betty.
Yeah, that was insane, and I knew what he was going for, and I was just wondering if the pills would actually provide for Adelito, and they definitely did in that sense. It looks like he's setting up for this blue horizontal to retain those yellows that he set up in column 2. Now just needing 2 more blues to fire that off and 1 more yellow to get out at a 153.
Yeah, Packy was dealing with about a 25-second period of no yellows, and pretty much every virus he had left was yellow. So that he access to seemed was yellow. So this has just slowed him down quite a bit. He's trying to get back into this, but this is just giving Alito every opportunity he needs to extend this lead. Right now, Packy just needs 2 more blue pieces, actually 1 more blue piece right there in column 4. He'll be out at 222 and is 13, 14 viruses behind, 18 viruses behind, trying to get right back into this one here, but not the most ideal start to this board either. He has a lot of blue on the top that he's hopefully going to get the right pills to maneuver just right to help him get access to lower down Betty.
Yeah, and he's trying to do that. Oh, wonderful clear by Packy as I look over there. And but I've been watching Adelito have these setups that um, just everything in its right place, and just being able to do anything with the pills, and make it look good. So he is maintaining this lead of 16 viruses here, with Packy, and it's just fantastic to watch that.
Wasn't that a song in Mary Poppins? A place for everything and everything is in its place?
If it was, I'm not. I'll go to Flindo for that. Our man in the field, Flindo. Do you know? But back to our playing here, um, and gosh, Adelito needing a lot of yellow help right now is what I see.
Yeah, and Pack right now, beautiful red, blue to take those blues out horizontally, and just as soon as he gets this pill here, everything drops down. Right now, it's I was about to say it's still a close game, but Adelito just gotten to level 12 at a 355, and a lot of very compressed pills and a lot of
Mhm.
pairs and trios for Adelito. This is a very good board for him. Meanwhile, we have what is often referred to in the community as a traffic light for Packy.
Yes.
This is going to take a long time to build down to that, and that is going to give Alito all the opportunity he needs now to extend this lead.
Yeah, and just to explain that traffic light situation, the having to go vertical and that those drop clears from the top not only does, oh wow, look at what he's having to do this, but he does get the final linchpin that he needed in order to get that taken care of and joining Adelito, but Adelito already a few combos deep in this level 12.
Yeah, he's building up something bigger as soon as he gets. I'm assuming he's looking for a red blue over for
Yes, and
column
here it is.
3, and here it is. And watch this.
Yeah.
Boom.
They did have a little bit of trash there on that column 2, but again, he has that little bit of a lead. Packy is trying to get into that lead right now, or cut into that, and he's just putting some work in for these blues, and he's going to need maybe a red horizontal to take these down. It looks like that's what he's going to do. Maybe no, decides just to clear it.
Yeah, I thought for a moment Packy might be going for a horizontal on those reds, but decided that another player would work better at that time, and just keeping himself with as many different opportunities as possible. Though with that yellow blue, he does want to eventually take out those reds horizontally. There we go. Clears a few things out, and it's down to only a 6 virus difference here, Betty. And this is going to be one of those ones that's going to go right to the finish if this keeps up.
Mhm. And that's exactly what we like to see, is both players being so close, and this just being decided by mere pills. Um, and that's exactly what we're seeing now. Adelito has the upper hand here, only needing a few more pills to get to this yellow at horizontal out at 623, but Packy has some setups of his own. You can see that he's going to have this blue cleared after making this yellow a horizontal, and he is going to be joining just 10 or 11 seconds later into his level 13.
Yeah, it's a 7 virus difference, but look at all these combinations of pills on Pack's side. Horizontal, vertical. It's absolutely a speed board here if he can get the right pill. So he is very much not out of this. And as I said, it's back down to a 3 virus difference right now. And just this is going to be one of those ones where if you blink, you might miss it. The only snag that there might be, which Pack's already taken care of a large part of, he did have a large cluster of blue he was moving towards, but he was able to get a large part of that out. Meanwhile, over on Alito's side, he has a lot of pairs as well, but most of those pairs are horizontal, so he's going to have to maneuver around a little bit more if he wants to take those out. Less options for him as he goes. Is a beautiful sideways fat log for Packy has kept him pretty much right on the edge of what Alito is doing here. This one is definitely going to go down the wire. It's a beautiful L yeah by Packy.
Yeah, but well, when I just looked, Packy had a lot of yellow on his board and not much else. So he has since gotten some color diversity there, but still a lot of yellow being needed right here. But he is clearing everything else as that's what he's getting. So these yellows might be the deciding factor here on Packy's side. But look at this by Adelito. He is clearing all of his reds and now just needing 3 blue, which, we'll see if the doctor provides. There's 1, there's 2, and here's the 3rd in succession at 816. Adelito will take another crown. So we have gone the distance here with this one. Packy finishing at an 825, so just 9 seconds behind. But this is it. These are the official caw-caws.
Packy had the opportunity to take down a little bit earlier. He did not look at the next box quickly enough, and he put a double yellow down the bottom. He ended up getting 2 red yellows in a row that would have cleared out those viruses in the bottom, and that might have made it very close, if not possibly a tie. So, will that come back to haunt Pack? We will have to wait and see. But now, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are down to a best of 1.
And honestly, if you're Adelito in the driving seat, you won the last two crowns, trying to keep that going. If you're Packy, trying to change the momentum of this match, both of these players have a mental game that they're going to be playing as well. But we'll see how that impacts them, if it does, as they get started here on this last crown.
Yeah, as I said before the last one, Adelito has this ability to him that when he does fall behind, Adelito does have a lot of reverse sweeps because as soon as he reaches this point, it starts rolling and there's no stopping it. And Packy right now is trying to figure out what exactly he needs to do in order to get exactly that to happen. And right now, it's being a bit of a struggle for Packy is he needs a lot of red. Well, Adelito has red and yellow. He can do not much room for blue. He just gave himself some access to blue, but it's not being the greatest board in the world for either one of them. That being said, it's Pack is tearing through this pretty quickly, showing you don't need a good board in order to get a good time, as he's just got 9 viruses left to Adelito's 12 in this first level here, Betty.
Mm-hmm. And watching what Packy's doing, like no finger off the down press right now. I like that setup by him, just knowing that he can have that drop clear of the reds with the yellows, not trying to mess up access to this T that he had with the red. Now just needing 3 more red, but Adelito just needing 2 more yellows to get out. There's one for him, but Pack already into his 11 at a 142, and Adelito about 4 seconds behind.
Yeah, this is essentially a tie game here, as this is not going to be the most ideal board for Packy, just for the fact that, yeah, he has a lot of color diversity for most of the map, but it is a much more right-heavy board. There's not a lot of viruses on the left side of the screen. And when you have to deal with a lot of compactness, especially when you've seen a large number of that, it's not paired up very well. That does slow down your gameplay just a little bit.
The patience of Adelito to make that combo happen that he just had, and to see that he had this access to drop these reds horizontally and just maintain access to almost everything on his board. It is, I say it all the time. It is fantastic to watch how he thinks through these combos, and just the amount of forethought that has to go into that.
Yeah, he's got a lot of blue now that he's having to work through, but thankfully he's getting a fair amount of that to allow him to keep up in this, and he's going to be able to clear out 3 blue viruses, and he takes out that yellow right here in column 1, allowing him to take an 8 virus lead, though
Wow.
Pack is not too far behind. He's just trying to figure out where to place everything on his board, as he's got a little bit of a garbage mess in columns 4 and 5 that he's having to maneuver around, and that's giving Ali the opportunity to take a bit more of a lead here, who just needs 1 yellow right there, needs 2 blue right there, and then a red right
Right
there
there.
in order to get out at 328.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, the doctor gave him exactly what he needed right there, and but Packy hopefully getting what he needs as well, to get into the level. Looking like he's probably going to take these blues horizontal. Decides to do that now, having just 2 more blues to join at a 350, but he is behind the 8 ball, with a 7 virus difference here.
Nice little red and red yellow blitz to get rid of a lot of his top line that was mostly red yellow, but now he's got mostly blue, so hopefully he'll start getting a few of those. In fact, there is a whole bunch of blue right there. You
Oh,
are
I like that.
welcome back.
And a wonderful swim to kind of maneuver those, that yellow blue into place, is Packy. Speaking of maneuvering some blues into place, that's what Adelito wants to do. Hopefully the game will give him. Oh, look at that. Fantastic, L clear, by Adelito, just maintaining the speed and maintaining these smart plays. Oh, and maintaining a yellow pill half. Like, it's fantastic.
It really is. We are seeing some ace level Dr. Mario here, though Pack is not letting up either. This lead has not been further than 8 and less than 3 for quite some time here. And it's just the back and forth we were watching is absolutely amazing. As lovely job there by Pack in order to take those out. He just needs a couple blues at this particular point. There he just needs a red blue, which he's getting right there. And all of a sudden, Pack's in the lead going into
Yeah.
level 13. This is our final level over here, folks. Meanwhile, Adelito still looking for a fair amount of blue and yellow. Now he just needs yellow. He's going to probably try taking those out like that. Just needs one more. He is out at a 534, but he is 6 viruses and a fair amount of setup behind Packy. He's got his work cut out for him, but at the same time, look at all those squares for the viruses in the middle of Adelito's board. This could be a very close one.
Yeah, this is definitely a combo player, a double player's dream here on Adelito's board. A lot of those clears come in quick and heavy there, but but Packy also making some quick clears and can build up a little bit of a platform to take some horizontals if he chooses to do that, and he has some wonderful setups that he can do as well.
Yeah, at one particular point, this was a 15 virus lead for Packy, and he's got so much opportunity with everything he has here that he's setting up for beautiful horizontal here to get rid of those blues, and everything is just going so well for Packy. Still a 12 virus lead, not much gameplay left here for Packy. I'd say it's very much in the driver's seat for him. He's going to need a fair amount of yellow though, and there's beautiful to swap that to the side so it doesn't block off what he's working on. At this particular point, he just needs yellows, and he will be done this level here. Barring any major catastrophe, this is Packy's match. He needs 3 more yellow, 2 more yellow, 1 more level, and Pack has done it. It was a 706. He is moving on to our monthly finals.
Wow. Fantastic. Well deserved, Packy. But just look at what Adelito did to the end of his board. Was behind, but it doesn't look like that much with how he melted away those last viruses there. So fantastic on both accounts. Packy moving on, though, taking down the behemoth that is Adelito and moving on to the finals to meet Influx tomorrow, or right after this.
Yes, 724 by Adley was a 47 hot temper to 709 by Packy, I think it was. It was is number 12 hot time. So these guys both had very blistering times, but it is Packy moving on. But as Betty B said, we have our finals coming up in just a couple minutes, so don't go anywhere. You are watching the DRMZ.
And welcome back. It comes down to this, our final coming up here in just a moment. My name's JB Henry. I'll be joined in just a moment by Ramsey Fox. Hey, before we get started, I just want to let you know that if you want to support this community, we'd love to see it. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to give us a subscribe. If you're watching us on Twitch, if you want to give us a follow or want to support us with bits or a subscription, that's great. It goes right back to DRMC to upgrade our equipment, to fund prize pools. Nobody makes any money off of this, so we really, really appreciate your patronage. And if you want to come see some live tournaments, we've got one coming next weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend here at DRMC. We have the Louisville Arcade Expo, the Louisville Regional coming up Saturday and Sunday. You'll want to come join us for that. It'll be also streamed live here on the DRMC. We'll also have our Silver Speed Bracket. I'll be in there along with some other great players as well. And then in April, we have the Midwest Gaming Classic right here in my backyard, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Come join us. I'll be there, and a lot of folks I've heard will be there. Come hang out with our Tetris sister community as well. It's always a good time. We look forward to seeing you there. But we got to get to our final. It is a rivalry that is one of the big ones here. Influx versus Packy. And Ramsey, you're telling me this is the 10th time they've met in tournament play?
Yeah, for what I can see, this is matchup number 10. It looks like Influx leads the series 6-3, but those three are the previous three. Packy on a 3-game winning streak against Influx, most recently last month in the semifinals. So Influx looking for some revenge and to take the tournament crown. Packy looking for his first tournament crown in a while. Both players absolutely ready and absolutely no stranger to each other's games. This should be a good one.
Packy winning the Dry Heat Regional, or excuse me, Pickle. And he is a pretty big deal here in the DRMC community. We've got our countdown in 3, 2, 1, and pills. Off we go. Levels 14 to 17 here. This is as high as the viruses go, and both players off to a good start here. You're going to see a very high elevation board, so high elevation play key here early on as both players starting to whittle down their boards. It's an early lead for Packy here, about 15 seconds in. I'd like to see a little bit more red support for Packy. Meanwhile, on Influx's side, Influx is just making some things work here. I'd like to see anything but red on Influx's side, Ramsey.
Yeah, Influx just now making some red available and immediately has to cover it up with some red yellow that he didn't have a great place for, but setting up for this nice T clear to clean up a bunch of garbage. Influx, but about 6 viruses behind right now as Packy takes a nice little drop there to put that yellow blue in a great spot. He's got some great doubles at the bottom of this board. If he can keep them open, it's tricky sometimes to clear the viruses in the right order to keep those setups open, but the bottom of his board looks great if he can get it there.
Yeah, Packy playing a very spired board on the bottom. That is trouble when it comes to drop time. So very paramount for Packy here to get these spires whittled down. He is starting to fill things out, which will be helpful for his drop time. He is down 4 viruses to Influx's 25. As Influx starting to get things off the middle two, or rather columns 2, 3, 6, 7. He is starting to split things on his board down to 20 viruses. Great couple of clears there by Influx. Looks like he might be setting up to get some garbage off the board, and he absolutely does with that yellow. Over on Packy's side, 17 viruses to go. He has some good setups here. I'd love to see him whittle down this column 5. That's really the only pain point I'm seeing on his board.
Yeah, Packy has just 1 spire left to slay on this board, and he's just about through with it. But yeah, all his viruses are now in columns 1 and 5, so that's going to lead to some drop time if you're not careful. And it looks like there's not a lot he can do about it. But Influx with a big cross clear, almost like a H kind of shape there. Very nicely done. He's down to 6, Packy down to 5. Very close as we're coming down to the last few pills here. Influx, bottom of his board, a nice little combo to get rid of that. But both players down to 1, just needing a couple reds apiece.
Yeah, and it looks like Influx is going to get to it first, out at a 222. Packy out at a 224. So essentially a dead heat here as our players go into 15. It's a 1 virus chase down for Packy just because of Influx getting that quick clear to start his level 15.
Yeah, and Influx setting up a nice combo here with this red-yellow, going to drop down everything perfectly, no garbage, completely clean. Pack also completely clean. Going to have to make some yellow garbage because he has no yellows available for this entire layer. He's going to have to do some work to get some color diversity open. But Influx is almost done with reds. Both players really need to open up their board to make sure they're not wasting pill halves.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Packy will be first here. Looks like he's cracked open things in column number 4. I'd love to see more blue support for Packy, and he is slowly starting to get it on Influx's side. I'd like to see red and yellow come his way so he could start whittling this board down, because he does have a little bit tougher of this mid game because he's just got to go through layer after layer of viruses here. Packy does have a small opening, a little caldera in columns 3 and 4, so he can get some access here, but he's gonna need blue to really crack
He's
things
got blue
open
on
down there.
blue is the top virus on every one of Packy's columns. He just now opens up a little bit of his other colors. He's got to get blue right now, or he's going to fall way behind. Influx opening a 12 virus lead as his board is a lot more diverse at the moment. He would love a couple more blues to set up this. Here comes this double blue, going to drop, and a nice horizontal to clean up his board. His board looking a lot more diverse, but man, it's really spired there in column, like a big dip in the middle of his board.
Yeah, and Packy is still needing blue, Ramsey. It's basically surrounding anything he needs to get through this level, and he's just not getting it. Needing a St. Louis amount of blues at this point to get through his level 15. Meanwhile, on Influx's side here, he is down to 8 viruses, playing an immaculate board here, getting the undertuck to de-sandwich those yellows over in column 1. He is going to drill down, and he is going to go horizontal on the yellow, bing, bang, boom, and is going to go for the double, and boom, out at a 440. Fantastic run here for Influx as Packy still struggling in this 15.
Yeah, he's got this horizontal red that is going to have to go quickly. The horizontal red, horizontal blue. He's got a lot of setups, but just nothing. He just needs. We've been talking about blue this whole board. He's got 7 viruses left, and 5 of them are blues still. We just need a little bit more blue help. This horizontal is going to drop the red, and that's going to open up the last 3 to all go out at once. 509 for Pack. So he's looking at about a 18 virus chase down, which is about a third of the level here, coming into 16. And his board looking a lot better this time, though. A lot more diversity, but a big red staircase I see in the middle. That might be an issue.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of yellow on Packy's start here, so he's gonna again have to get creative with his plays here. Down to 60 viruses, Influx down to 42. If Packy can start getting clears, there are a ton of double opportunities right in the middle of that board. We'll have to see how he plays those out. Meanwhile, Influx here is just continuing to cruise here, getting a little overburdened with yellow, but making things work down to 31 viruses, and really needing blue, needing yellow, but really it's just not getting anything to where he can get a cohesive setup. He's having to piecemeal this board.
Yeah, but he gets a nice multicolor L there, very nicely done to kind of get down to the bottom chunk of his board. But this column 4 is not looking so great. He's going to drop the yellows, which is going to help a lot, and this double yellow is going to choose to clear out his column 6 with it. Influx down to 15. Pack is now at that big red staircase. He's got all these reds are available in doubles if he can get the pieces in the right order to get them. So we'll see how quickly he can melt through the middle of this board. Looks like, but he's still about 20 plus viruses behind. His Influx is at the very bottom.
Yeah, but Packy's getting some good sequencing here to really start getting everything here. But Influx out at a 649. He'll be into the final level first here, so it may just be a matter of time here as we are stacked very high up on the board here for 17. Top outs are critical. It's very important early on. You just focus on whittling your board down. You don't want to get too cute here because it can bite you.
Yeah, this is just about as high as it gets. I think there's level 19. It gets 1 row higher, but this is just like that's really dangerous. This is dangerous enough as it is. Pack at the bottom of his board, still a few reds to deal with, but he's got a horizontal potential could potentially get all of them at once, although that doesn't really look like that's in the cards this time. But he's got some nice setups here to finish out his level 16. But Influx melting away his level 17. He's got absolutely no garbage, completely clean so far. He's kind of digging out a bit of a cavern there in column 3, but it's looking really good for Influx. His pack just now finishing his 16 at 748, about 30 plus, not, yeah, over 30 viruses to chase down.
Yeah, it's going to be a definite effort here for Packy, but he's off to a really good start here, getting some really good RNG sequencing and making things work here. I really like him short stacking everything, getting him down to 61 here. He's already got that elevation down, but no yellow on that top line until he got that blue clear over in column number 6. So making things work here as he continues along. 8:19 on the clock for Packy, 8:22 for Influx. Influx is holding about a 2-to-1 virus advantage over Packy here as we're getting towards the end game here for for Influx, the 1 seed here. Great board for Influx. Really looking for red here. Not a lot of need for yellow. Going to drop into an L. Yeah, 16 viruses to go. Ramsey, this is a really, really good 17 we're seeing here from Influx.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a barge of red garbage that he kind of had to create. Didn't have a lot of spot for it. He's cleaned that up very nicely, and he's looking at a couple horizontals, maybe to finish out this level. He'd love to get these reds and yellows horizontally at the bottom, setting up for a fat log if he gets the opportunity. Here we come, big fat log, nice drop, but it's kind of garbage heavy. Might give Pack a chance to catch back up, but he's got to make a 23 virus deficit, and Influx is down to single digits.
Yeah, Influx has pretty much everything he needs. Really, the only thing preventing him is the red in column 3, which he is going to go vertical on. I thought he was going to attack that first, but he went for column 1 red first. Has a good board set up here. Packy down to 18. He's getting some good RNG. He does not need blue right now. Yellow is huge for him. Good horizontal clear, but that is it at a 942. Influx out, and it will take the first crown in this final.
Yeah, a great job from Pack to catch up. He was almost 30 viruses behind, ends up making it about a dozen or so virus difference. Had an excellent level 17, but yeah, just fell behind a little bit too much in the first couple boards. He's going to be finishing up. He's only got his board's completely clean. You see how clean this is. Just absolutely, absolutely just completely clean. Just looking for a couple more. But yeah, Influx taking crown, the very, very important crown number 1, Pack out at a 10:25. We'll get reset here for round number 2.
Packy just had a bit of a struggle session all throughout that first crown. Looks like he might have a cord tangling issue, so he's getting that squared away here. You see Larva 12 in the background. Shout out to Larva, does a lot of help on the back end for us at DRMC. And supporting her husband Packy here as we get into our second crown. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, and pills. Influx versus Packy, the 1 versus the 3, the 10th meeting of these two. Packy has managed to win the last 3. Influx, though, may have taken that stat personally. He's been off to a roaring start here in this grand final. 55 viruses to go here as we've got some quick clears from Influx. 53 for Packy, and Packy with a short stack with that blue-red over in columns 5 and 6. 51 now for, or rather 49 here is Packy needing a Cincinnati amount of reds.
Yeah, Pack needs an absolute truck full of reds and has nowhere to put this yellow blue. Is going to have to make some garbage with it. Clears out a bunch of reds, but still has a bunch more. Influx's board is now a lot more diverse than it was, but he was missing blue for quite a while. He's still got a little bit of blue garbage there in his column 6 there, and that isn't necessarily a misdrop if he can clear some horizontals. So we'll see what he decides to do with that. But he's getting a lot of reds that he doesn't need that Pack could still use. He's got still 5 different columns, now 6 columns with red viruses as the one to clear.
But a good comeback combo there by Influx as he's managed to get it to within 7. Packy still needing those reds. It's just red everywhere on Packy's left side of the board. You'd love to see some double reds so he can maybe get a setup. He's going to get an underclear here, but still needs to crack through that left side of the board. 18 for Packy, 23 for Influx here as the reds start coming down on Packy's board. But Influx starting to roar back here. Not a lot working on that left side of the board. There is a combo setup, it looks like, but Influx is going to have to get through here. Maybe a misdrop on that top section. I kind of am curious to see. Okay, there it is. Great undertuck drop down from Influx here. Now he's just looking for that setup. Meanwhile, Packy down to 10 viruses, still needing red. Red everywhere for Packy here, but a good sequence of combos there for Packy. He's going to get everything back into a nice ready state here. 4 viruses to go for Influx, 3 for Packy. Packy has clear opportunities everywhere. He is likely going to combo his left side out and then just single out that red. But Influx out first at a 220. What a comeback from Influx, as he had a very dicey start of his 14 there, Ramsey.
Yeah, but Pack at a 225, less than 10 seconds difference heading into this level 15. Just a 3 virus game right now. And Pack with an early, excellent big T at the top of the board. He's got a setup for a fat log maybe here on the left. We'll see if that comes up. I don't know how long I'd hold out for it because it is dangerous to have a single piece setup like that at the top of the board where you have no options. The yellow red, though, a common piece. It shows up very nice. He's got no place for yellows though at the moment. Meanwhile, Influx with a big cross clear to clear up, but it was all garbage. But that is going to help him clean up his board, and he's holding on to just a slim 1 to 2 virus lead early here in this level 15.
And Packy is really getting a little bit hamstrung. Just, there's always seems to be one pill that doesn't help him, but a great combo there clears out the center of his board and might be looking for the Elia, and he will get the Elia. Great RNG there for Packy as he's continuing to roll about here. And could have had a sweet tea on column 8. Elected not to go for it. He's going to get a drop down with those double blues at 24. He's holding a 3 virus lead over Influx, but Influx needing a cold play amount of yellow to get through this portion of his board. Y'all didn't think I had a yellow joke. Well, there you go.
His board was Influx's board was quite a bit sloped just not even a minute ago. He's cleaned a lot of that up. Pack's board big just there's nothing in 3 and 4. So somewhere to maybe put some pills that he doesn't have a use for. He's gonna set up the bottom for a horizontal there. He needs just a couple more pills, ideally a red blue like this one here. Got a nice long drop combo. This one red is going to clear him out. He's at 414 into his level 15, about a dozen virus lead over Influx, who has a bit of a cramped setting here at the bottom of this board. Let's see how he handle. He'd love to get these blues rather horizontally, but let's see how. Oh, he's going to make a nice little bridge. That's clever, and he's going to be out here pretty shortly.
Yeah, great setup here by Influx. Probably going to have to go left to right on those horizontals, and that's exactly what he's doing here. He's getting set up for everything in 1 and 2 and 3 out at a 445. So about a 30-second difference between our players here, about a 20 virus disadvantage here for Influx, but he's off to a very, very good start on his 16, getting some quick clears. That red blue not in the optimal place, but he can get an easy clear, make things work a little bit better in his favor, and he can short stack down those blues and gets the garbage, gets the viruses off. Great play there by Influx. Meanwhile, Packy's side of the board here got good color diversity here. He hasn't really been favoring one color over anything else. If anything, a little bit of red on that left side would be helpful for him. And here comes a red rush. You are welcome, Packy. Getting some more off the board here. He's down to 28. Now needing blues. And if he can get another double blue consecutively, he might have gone for the big fat log. Didn't get it, but still getting a good clear. Down to 22 to Influx's 37 as Influx trying to make this a little bit more competitive and has some good setups here and playing a really, really good board on his side, Ramsey.
Yeah, he's got just an absolute mess of doubles. Like you can't not take them in doubles. That's all he has. So this board from Influx is going to absolutely disappear in a hurry if the colors come in anywhere sort of a decent order. Doesn't go for the horizontal there. He's going to set up for more future combos here, as he really, really wants another red blue. we will see how long he holds out for it. Meanwhile, Pack is down to his final 5. He just needs to clear out this blue with this blue yellow for a big horizontal, and he is down to his final 3. So Influx is down to his final 10. It's going to be Pack out first at 626, but Influx is just like 6 or so viruses behind. He'd love a big fat log, but he's going to need RNG to cooperate for that. Let's see how long he holds out for it.
You could also just elect to go single on the blues. He might do that. Oh, and he has to now with that unfortunate sequence there for Influx, but still managing with that double to get 1 blue left, get that blue pill fragment down, and he is going to be out at a 657. So it is officially a chase down of about 20 again. As we get into 17 here, Packy is starting to whittle things down, and Influx is off to a hot start as well, already getting some good clears down to 64 viruses, getting the horizontal. And sometimes, you get a little scared to do those horizontal plays up top, but sometimes it really helps with board clearance.
Yeah, some early horizontals is a really big thing to pick up if you're just getting into playing the high levels here, like the late game levels. You don't have a lot of vertical space, so being able to sniff out those horizontals is a huge boon for you. Pack needs nothing but reds, basically. He is down to 29 viruses, and well over half of them are red. He is going to have to get the reds in a hurry. Doc is not cooperating at the moment. But Influx also does not have a lot of color diversity at the moment either. He's got no blues available. So both players looking to open up their boards here, as Influx is still about 20 viruses behind, as we're about halfway through this board, Pack more than halfway through this board. He's looking to even it up. It's still anybody's game, but Pack definitely has the lead.
Yeah, Pack playing a really, really good board here. Was hoping for that slant log, and he does get the slant log. He is down to 16 as the lights go out for just a second. Okay, we've turned them back on. 15 viruses to go for Packy, 27 for Influx. Both players have a clean board. Influx has a lot of opportunities for multi-clears, which could really help him narrow the gap here. 26-9, now 24-8 here. Packy's going to be dropping everything down. This is a great end game for Packy. Packy going to get the horizontal. He is down to 5, now down to 4. Needing yellows, needing reds. What's going to come out first? He's going to get the double red. That's huge, and he is going to drill it down and take the second crown here in this best of 5 with an 857.
Sub 9 minutes for Pack. That is on our Hot Times board as a number 19. And I believe that is just a few seconds off of his personal best, which looks to be 855 for this block. So an excellent comeback round from Pack to even this at 1 apiece. We are now down to a best of 3. Influx not going to finish this up, just going to reset and move on. And we are going to be ready for a game 3 shortly.
Packy is definitely one of those players historically where if he takes that first crown loss or takes any crown loss that doesn't end it, he tends to play with a little bit more fire under his butt. And we definitely saw it there, just absolutely torching through that level sequence. We've got our readies, so here we go. Crown 3 in 3, 2, 1, pills. As we're in our 3rd crown of our March Speed Grand Final. The first seed Influx versus the 3rd seeded Packy, 619. 2 absolute legends of the game trying to decide who will take home the March title.
And Pack with an excellent horizontal there at the very top of that board, which dropped down perfectly with no garbage to speak of. He's got a little bit of garbage now in that column 4 with that blue, but that's almost ready to go. And he's just 1 pill away. And here, any blue basically takes it at his leisure whenever he feels it's good. But speaking of that, this giant drop combo from Influx. Oh my goodness. Influx clearing about 8 or so viruses off at once. Wow.
I was looking to see if there was just a rough RNG there or he had something going where the solve was for the combo. And right as I found it, so did he. Great sequence there by Influx. Unfortunately, when you live and die by combos like that, it tends to slow you down. It's an 11 virus advantage here for Influx, or rather for Packy. Influx behind by a dozen viruses here. Packy playing a pretty decent board here. You know, he's got some garbage, but he can manage it. Nothing that's really hampering him here. Nothing bad in the RNG department. Ooh, just a quick course correction there on that right side by Packy. He's going to drill everything down, get a red off. He's down to 14. Influx down to 22 here. And Ramsey, I'm really worried about that bottom left quadrant on Influx's board. It's very clustered up.
Yeah, it's very clustered, but he's got a lot of horizontals and a lot of doubles in the bottom right. So it maybe kind of evens out. We'll see what comes in what order and how he's able to take care of this. This red blue's actually going to help clear out a bunch of garbage if he wants to. Oh, he's going to take it with a combo. Very nicely done. But he's still got this yellow horizontal to deal with too. So Influx looking for a couple more horizontals. Pack looking for a couple more reds and blues. He is down to just 4. Influx down to just 5 and clears it all out with a
Wow.
great combo. Very nicely set up. 209 or so for Influx. And Pack down to just 3 viruses himself. He's going to be about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so behind, depending on the RNG.
There it is,
223, so
double
about
red.
15 or so.
That was just a good combo out there by Influx. Really, nothing you can do about that as our players here continuing on this third crown. Level 15 here. It's a dozen or so virus chase down now. On the other side here, big momentum shift now in favor of Influx as Influx going to get himself a tuck clear there. Really got to get these blues off that very top of the board. And he's now starting to work things down here. Or rather, I was looking at Packy's board. That's what Packy needed to do. Influx is doing great. He's down to 36 viruses here as he's got some good doubles on those bottom 4 rows that he can really make short work of once he cracks through.
Yeah, he's got just a red and yellow mess down at the bottom of that board, but they're all in doubles. But he's going to need blue first and then no more blue for the rest of the level, basically. So that's always a risky proposition. He's going to set up this huge horizontal. He was sniffing that out the whole way. He set up to require that blue horizontal and an excellent setup to take advantage of it. He's down to 21, Pack down to 38. His board looking a lot more traditional, a lot just a, you know, no crazy setups like that, but man, he's got just a mess of red and yellow of his own.
Packy seems to be playing by whatever's coming in the next box here. There's not really a lot of huge combo planning, and that's a lot of his style of play. And then Adelito pointed out that Packy hasn't won a monthly title in a long time, and that really more speaks to the caliber of players that are continuing to enter the scene as we see Influx into 16 at the 4-minute mark. It's really more of a testament to just how much more competitive the scene has gotten over the years. But yeah, definitely Packy would love to see himself take home a title here. He is a bit behind here as Influx. Adelito is no longer in the tournament. Influx is starting to roll through here on his 16. He needs a lot of red to do it, Ramsey.
Yeah, and no yellow. He has nowhere to put yellow for basically a whole layer. He's got to get rid of all this red first before he has his first yellow virus. Maybe going to come up in column 6 first. We'll see what he decides to do. He's kind of signaling all horizontals to drop it down, which will work if he gets it all, but he's really committing to it too, because this garbage is not really going to go away unless he gets all these horizontally. Looks like he's going to clear it out and then take this red horizontally at some point to open it all up. Meanwhile, Pack has a big combo setup of his own. He'd love to get rid of this blue-red in a way that lets him double. That's going to be what he does here. He's going to be out just about 5-12 or so. So a minute plus disadvantage here in this level 16. But his board's looking pretty favorable. A lot of doubles at the top.
Yeah, he's given up half a level right now to Influx, but a great sequence of pills already coming in here for Packy as he's going to get himself a drill down and really has not needed a garbage play up until now. So just a really, really good opening board for Packy. Meanwhile, on Influx's side here, as he's down to 26, looking to set himself up for a quad clear and is just going to turn that into a single double yellow clear as he is rolling down his board here. He's really got to start digging here. He's got a lot of red again along that top line, but starting to mow this board down here and getting himself a drop combo. Love seeing that. 4 viruses off the board here. It is 17-41 here as we cross the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, Influx was really hoping for some horizontal play there with those reds, and it just wasn't coming, and he had to bail or he was going to risk not being able to use his pieces at all. So that's given
Mhm.
Pack a chance to bring this down to about a 15 virus deficit, which, given how far back he was at the start of the level, that's an excellent comeback. He's got a
Absolutely.
big blue. He would love a double blue, or maybe make one at maybe make one at home if you can't find the store bought one. There we go. Very nice, big cascading combo, and he's now down to a 6 virus deficit as Influx is clearing out the bottom of his board.
Yeah, that big blue combo made me want to go visit Mute City here as we've got just 2 reds to go for Influx out at a 652. He'll be into 17 first, but oh my goodness, the torching that Packy has done here on this level 16. He has made this a game, and he is just needing just a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, and a little bit of yellow, and he can get himself out here, and he is going to spike things up. And now he's out of blues, so now he's just needing a red yellow. Where's that red? There it is. Packy is going to go into 17 at a 719 or 720. Thought he had the full clear. He didn't. So it is a 16 or so virus chase down as we are both of our players on 17.
Yeah, Influx is down to the bottom of his board on column 2 already. That is a dangerous spot to be in because that could result in a bunch of drop time if you're not don't get exactly the pieces you need. So he's very sloped. But Peck is at the very top of his board. This column 6 really dangerous. He's going to have to clear that out somehow. Elects to do it there. It's going to create a little bit of garbage that he's going to have to get through. And he doesn't really have time to be dealing with garbage either. Influx opening up over a 20 virus lead here, but man, his board's still super sloped.
You don't really see a board as sloped as this on a 17 either. There's usually a lot of balance, but it's just the RNG has kind of forced Influx's hand here. And you see him hesitating with that double yellow. He's like, I could have had that double clear, but it would have dropped everything down. And he's, with everything so spired up, he's had to go and be a little bit more conservative in his play calling here, but he's definitely making things work here. So he's down to 21. Packy trying to crack through his board here and just not really able to. There's a lot of doubles waiting for him a few rows down, but the RNG not cooperating with him as he's trying to just get some sort of opening to give himself a shot here. But it's looking like Influx starting to run away with this here as he's down to his final dozen or so.
Yeah, and he's got a great setup here. Nice 0 drop clear lightning bolt. His board is completely clean. That blue on column 2 is the only garbage, and he's down to 2 viruses. That is as clean as it gets here, as he is just about 4. He needs 3 more yellows to be out of this level 17, and Influx takes game 3 with a 9-12. So both players trading very, very good times here. A sub 9 minutes and then a low 9 minutes, both very excellent and tough to beat even on your best times. So Influx taking the crucial game 3, and he's going to be on tournament point with a big cross clear from Pack. Man, I am absolutely thrilled with these games. These are so fun.
They've been very, very competitive here. We've been seeing people try to come back despite being down a lot here. I think Packy's going to run this board out, or Larva's going to turn around and tell him to restart. Who knows what'll happen as we continue here.
Yeah, Peck definitely is not one to listen to the commentary. He very intentionally is taking his headphones off. Larva's shaking her head a bit in the back. We're not
She's
sure.
like, no, I'm gonna let him
if
finish.
she's watching. Yeah, not gonna interrupt. All right, just one more for Pack, and 10:22. So about that 1 minute difference held through from the first level all the way through. So GG's to Influx, absolutely statement game 3, and he's going to be on tournament point, looking to put it away in 4. Pack looking to force a final decider. Game 4 coming up shortly.
All right, these players looking to get their readies on. We have our readies. We have the pickle hat on. And hopefully the RNG isn't Gherkin Packy around here as we go in 3, 2, 1, and pills. Packy already tough start. He misplayed the red-yellow, but managed to get a full set of them to just erase that off the board. And it looks like it was the same deal for Influx here, as he's got the red-yellow stacked in the middle of the board, but he is going to do it a little bit more elaborately, sinking all that garbage down here. And Influx looking for a horizontal blue, maybe going for the L, yeah. And he is going to get everything here, dropping everything down. Good play here from both players. It's a 3 virus advantage here for Packy as these players looking to get down into their boards.
Yeah, both players almost like a false start kind of thing. They just kind of had to reset almost their whole first like 5 pills just to kind of reset back to even. Pack with some nice drop clears. Gonna get his board nice and even. He's gonna be maybe looking for a horizontal here to clear up this yellow garbage that's kind of going across the board, and he's gonna take that. Does not go, he could have set up for an L, but it would have required a couple more pieces. Elects to clear it this way. He is down to 28, but so is Influx's. His board is completely clean. He's got just a little bit of garbage, which is not going to be garbage for long, as his horizontal drop combo is going to put it right into place. Influx opening up a small 2 virus lead, but we are still super early going here in this level 14, as Pack's board has a lot of doubles at the bottom.
Yeah, real good double sequence here for Packy. You're talking about, the combo he had set up. Packy is very good at getting those quick combos set up, but he also is just very astute in knowing when to pull the plug on a combo and just continue to pull forth. A lot of players are just very insistent on getting that combo completed, and it slows them down. But what's slowing Packy down right now is not getting what he needs, but he's starting to get everything back here. He's down to 5, Influx down to 7. Influx going to de-sandwich, getting himself down to 3. Packy down to 2, and this red's going to get him out first at a 209. Influx not far behind here with these last 2. He's out at a 213. So we are neck and neck going into 15.
Yeah, top of Pack's board, a ton of reds and yellows, all in doubles, but he's got nowhere to put blues at the very top layer. So he's going to have to clear a little bit of garbage to make space. He's got some spots for blue now, so now would be a good time, and he's going to get a nice drop combo here. Meanwhile, top of Adelito's, or not Adelito, he's out of the tournament. We talked about this just a
Hooray! I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one. Influx setting up a nice yellow L, yeah, to open up the middle part of his board. He's got just a slim 2-3 virus lead, depending on the second you look at it. This is neck and neck here. We're about a third of the way done with 15.
And Packy was thinking about a high elevation fat log, but chopped it down. He didn't get the double yellow. Don't want to really be dependent on a double piece. I think that was a wise decision by Packy, as he is down to 39. Influx down to 34, making some good clears on his side. Getting that lower right quadrant open up a little bit, going to get himself a D-sandwich clear, and he is down to 29. Packy down to 33. He's trying to figure things out. This red drop's going to be huge for him. He's going to get a sweet tea drop. Big play there by Packy. He's down to 30. And Ramsey, this is not a great end game if we're not seeing blue or yellow for Influx.
Yeah, he's got like no red. The only red he has available is like in a double and a triple at the bottom. So he like has no need for red at all for the entire rest of this board. So he's going to have to be incredibly clever with his blues that he gets to try to do things efficiently. Pack's bottom of his board much more diverse. It looks like 4 or 5 of everything. So basically an ideal end game for Pack, as he is looking. Let's see what he does with this yellow. He's going to set it up for a drop combo like that and probably clear out some garbage. But he is going to maybe set up for, he's going to go with the fat log setup. There's all sorts of options you have when your board is that diverse here. And a nice yellow offset fat log. He's down to 8. Influx is down to 7, but like you said, it's kind of a mess and kind of all over the place, but a very timely double blue and another one. He's going to be out first at a 435.
Yeah, huge luck there on our Influx. I almost did it again. We got Influx here down to 65, already going through 16 here. Packy out at a 450. He's got a slight chase down. It looks like a 5 virus chase down, and that's going to be remedied pretty quick by an instant clear to start his level, and then just some really good sequencing here to get things set up and going for his 16. He's got 60. Influx has 54. I've been told by our producer that that is in fact Influx and not Adelito. Good play here to start from both of our players.
The Dave on top of it, as usual. We really appreciate the Dave in the booth. Uh, as package clearing out a bit of a little bit of a slope board, but not too bad. That's very easy to deal with if he gets some pills, not even in necessarily a super specific order. He'd love to get those yellows on the right as a D-sandwich kind of clear, but he's going to have to get some more yellows for that. Meanwhile, Influx has a lot more diverse board, a big drop T, very nice. Clears out all of his garbage. And if he can clear these yellows horizontally, he's going to have no garbage at all, as that drops perfectly into place. Influx extending the lead to about close to 10 as we're about halfway through with this level. But Pack is finally making his way and going to set up a nice drop combo for that red on the right to bring down that column 8.
And Packy getting a couple of nice isolated clears as well, just to keep that board in a good way here. It is 22 to 18. Oh, look at this combo. As I say that, though, by Influx, he's already down to a baker's dozen on that nice little sequence of horizontals. And, you know, we're just really seeing that horizontal play from Influx. He's got such great board vision and really is just amazing at sniffing out those horizontal clears. He is at 7 viruses here, Packy down to a dozen. Packy's got an all right board here. If he can get himself a good sequence, he is in good shape. He's going to get the blue here, going to go double on that right side.
This
in
hero
column 8,
combo
and
from
then,
Influx, though,
oh my
clears
goodness.
everything out at once.
All right, and good tuck there by Packy. Packy just needing a little bit of everything here. I think he might be trying to combo out both of these reds, and he will. Influx first out at a 707, but Packy at a 709. We are in a sprint here in the 17th level. Can Packy force a decider? Can Influx take it home? We'll find out in just a few short minutes.
Yeah, there's one race to the finish, about 2 minutes left in this game, and this is Pack must finish first to continue in this tournament. And he has got a nice setup. He's pretty garbage free, but that column 1 is kind of looming large. He's going to have to find some way to deal with that column 1 that's going to avoid a bunch of garbage or drop time. He might use this yellow red. It is on the left side, which is easier to get pills to, and a nice gets it all the way to the left. If that was misflipped, that could have ended the run basically right there. That would have been a nightmare to clean. But as it stands, Influx with about a slim 6 virus lead, as he doesn't have a good place for all of his pill types yet, but a big L is going to open up a bunch of room. Influx trying to hold on to the 6 virus lead as we're about halfway done with this final level.
And as you say, 6 virus, it goes down to 3s. Packy getting a horizontal triple, and Packy continuing to stack things neatly on his side of the board, little favoring that right side a little bit more than his left. Meanwhile, on Influx's side, Influx, is he going to go for the quad? He's not going to go for the quad. He is just going to take some blues out higher up, just going to go lower the overall top line. He is down to 25. Packy down to 32 here. Influx starting to pull away. Packy's going to have to turn on the jets here if he wants a shot at this. It's going to be very close here. It is 16 to 29 here as Influx continuing to get some big combos. He's going to drop down some blue off the board. He is down to 15 viruses, and he is going to use these double blues, clearing the garbage off, and going to drill down, or not drill down. He's just going to put the yellow blue, or the red blue there vertically in column 4 here. Real close here as we are down to the final few viruses.
Yeah, Influx had his earlier setups were very nice, big drop combos, but left quite a bit of garbage, which he's still kind of reeling from. But those big combos have given him about a dozen virus lead. He is down to needing just a handful more. This blue red is perfect. This red is going to open up the bottom. He needs just one more blue and one more red. Oh, sees the next box and gets it over just in time. Influx is going to be out at 9:35, and he's going to take it by about 9 viruses. Influx is your March 2026 gold bracket champion over Pack in 4 games. GG's to both players. Man, what an exciting finish to that level.
All right, and that is going to do it for us here. Packy is going to run this out here, and it looks like Packy was a little bit dependent on a hero combo he had set up on the left side of his board, and Influx was just playing consistently and getting good clears here. Packy is going to finish it out at a 10-11 here. It will be a 3-game-to-1 win for Influx here. Great job by both of our players. And that is it for us again. For all of our commentators today, as well as our producer, The Dave, all of our staff here, all of our players, and especially you for watching, thank you so much. We will see you next week in Louisville, and we'll see you right here on our Twitch channel for the Silver Bracket. Until then, be great to each other and take your vitamins. Good night.